I want to talk for a minute about the idea of a practice that permeates. So often, our practice, for most of us in the Western world, starts on our little rubber rectangle inside of a yoga studio that is perfectly curated. It's quiet, it's warm, has usually lovely lighting. It's a space that is fairly easy to practice being connected, being peaceful, being steady. And in this perfect quarantine time of our lives, we have the opportunity to practice bringing those tools out from the perfectly curated yoga studio into our messy, wild, uncertain, upsetting, uncomfortable lives. And that, I think, is where the real yoga happens. We get to remember the tools that we cultivated in that beautiful space and use them to help steady ourselves in these wild times. But once we've found a little bit of that steadiness, we get to choose how we want to show up in this world, how we want to participate in the conversation, how we want to address the unrest and the discord, right? Because truly, the only thing that we have control over is our own action, our own response. So please bring yourself into a comfortable seat. And if a seat is not comfortable, by all means, grab a chair or lie down onto your back. And make any adjustments that you need to your position, your hair, your clothing. Get the fidgets out so that you can allow for a little bit of stillness. Feel for a moment your roots, your feet where they contact the earth, your hips on whatever surface you might be sitting on or lying on. And then do your best to release any resistance in your breathing. Absolutely watch the breath move in and out, but release any tightening in your throat, in your belly. Notice the quality of energy that you are arriving with in this moment. And do your best not to label it right or wrong, should or shouldn't. But notice the experience that you're having without trying to change it. For me, I have a lot of anger this morning, and in turn, a lot of heat. You see what's there for you. Now notice where your body moves with breath. again, not something to change, not something to fix, but simply an observation of what is natural in your body. Now, the very act of releasing resistance in the breath, in smoothing out the edges, will soften the nervous system, will soften muscles in the body, because you're communicating with your breath that it's okay to settle. Each time your attention wanders away to anything, to anticipation, to to-dos, simply start again. Feel your feet on the floor. Watch and listen and feel for the breath. And so again and again, you come back, just like training a puppy. The first time you tell it to sit, it runs off. You bring it back and you tell it to sit, and it runs off. And you bring it back and you tell it to sit, and it jumps on you. And about the 100th time you tell it to sit, it stays for 3 seconds before it runs off. And so in this training of the puppy, there isn't scolding or judgment. There's simply consistency. And with that consistency, the busyness fades and the distractions fade. And we learn how to stay steady for moments at a time. And those moments get longer bit by bit with each repetition. Now begin to feel where your breath changes the shape of your body. Feel your roots, your feet on the floor, your hips on whatever surface you're sitting on. Pause for a moment and feel the quality of energy that is moving within you. And for me, it's softer. Join your palms together. Bow your chin, raise your chest. After we take the time to settle and steady ourselves, then we get to decide what action we most want to take, what direction to move forward in. Because our actions, our responses are the only things that we have control over. So what small step can you take? May the practices be of benefit to you and to all beings. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu.